Hey guys, it's Tinker Taylor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. And today we have Venonat, who is a bug poison type creature who looks like a pom-pom and a bug had a baby. That's the best way I can put it. It's like a purple little fuzzy thing. It's got little legs and little arms and these big, they kind of remind me of like the red fly eyes and little antenna. And apparently when I saw this, when I was creating my list, so yeah, my list is basically done for this entire year, and I think like halfway of next year. This is quite a lot of ideas I've already written down, but apparently when I first saw it, I thought of Princess and the Frog for some reason, and when they go see the witch doctor. Now keep in mind, I have seen maybe a quarter of this movie. Maybe a quarter, so I have no idea what actually happens. I mean, I know what happens in the Princess and the Frog story, but I don't actually know the full movie. But yeah, I don't know. I also kind of got reminded of the I don't know if the correct word is swamp or bayou, but that sort of area in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and I love what I did here. I think this is one of the better builds that I have ever done, and I'm really, really proud of myself. I don't know, just the whole like landscaping and everything, the majority of this is landscaping, and I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And because this is, because it's terrain, I don't know if your sim can even get to this build. There's no back door, there's only the dock door. And yes, I have no idea if you can actually get to this build. But if you can swim in a terrain-made pool, a terrain-made pond, I guess, then yeah, absolutely 100% think that this could be a usable build. I made sure that the kitchen was usable. I say I made sure, I didn't test it, but the way I built it, I didn't clutter on the actual cabinets, like the I keep thinking dresser, but that's not the word. The kitchen bench area. I did decorate some shelves, which I'm very proud of. I've not really ever done that before in a build, or if I have, it's been a very long time since I have done that sort of cluttering and decoration. But yeah, I tried to make it as usable as possible, because I love this build and I think it'd be really, really cool to have a build like this where people can actually, play in a swamp like this. Do you know how cool that would be? I think it would be absolutely brilliant. So yeah, definitely let me know if you do download this. Let me know if it's actually usable, because I would love to know that. I do like trying to make usable builds, but sometimes I just want to build and I don't really think about it. I think once I begin gameplay, if I begin gameplay, I'll definitely think about this stuff sort of a bit more, but at the moment, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I build for fun. This is probably the most proud of a build I've ever been, because it's something so outside my comfort zone, but so, I feel like I hit the nail on the head with this one. I'm not a strong landscaper, but I don't think I can say that anymore, because, once you look at this, you'll understand why I feel that way. You might look at it and hate it, but I feel so proud of myself. It's very rare that I look at landscaping and pat myself on the back. But this is one of those cases where, yeah, I feel very proud of myself, and I feel like, yeah, let's keep going with this vibe. Let's keep going with this sort of thing and be proud of yourself. So yeah, I don't know. I do, like I said earlier, I do spend most of this build on the landscaping. I think the landscaping took me, in real life time, 52 minutes. And then the building took me, to decorate... Oh, okay. The actual interior design and whatnot probably took me about half an hour. So there's a little bit extra of things that I do, but I'm not gonna spoil it just yet. Because I don't wanna give it away straight away of what I was doing. But I do spend some more time outside doing some other things other than landscaping. But yeah, I don't know, it's I think the thing that really blows me away about this build is that I do not feel comfortable in mixing and matching plants together. I feel very uncomfortable with them, but I think because I've been going through and each world I've been like, okay, let me deal with these items, like these landscaping items, and just from this pack. Because I've done that, I've now gotten to the point where I kind of know, like, oh, I think this one and this one would work really well together from these different packs. And yeah, maybe some of them don't actually work together, and maybe there are some other ones that I missed that would go really well together. But I think the fact that, this is the first time where I've mixed and matched, and I feel really good about it. There's not a section where I look at and go, oh, okay, maybe that section's not good. Like, I just feel really proud of how it turned out. And yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys feel the same way about the build. Especially if you're a landscaper. If you are someone who's like, yeah, landscaping is my thing, please let me know down below, like, what you think about this. Any tips or tricks to improve? I do know about, like, picking low-lying plants, mid-level plants, and then tall plants, and that's just within, like, the plant category, not the tree category. And even with the trees, I did pick some shorter ones and some taller ones, and again, try to layer it all. It's kind of like with when you're cluttering up a shelf or something like that. You don't want it to all be one uniform height. I mean, a bookcase makes sense if you just want to put books on it. But even with bookcases, sometimes you want to layer things and put, like, little trinkets and knickknacks and whatever. And you kind of layer things, like tall things here and short things there and whatnot. And I kind of see it the same way of, it's all about layering. Some people have said that, have said to me in the past that if you want a shelf to look good, or if you want a space that you're decorating to look good, you should only put 3 items and layer them. You want to have a tall item, a short item, and a middle-sized item, which is usually a wider item. Maybe you have, like, a stack of 2 books, a candle, and maybe, like, a plant or something. They're very different shapes, but they will have different heights and textures and whatnot to them, so you can kind of play with them and create different fun things with them. But I don't know, I'm the sort of person who's like, I either like a surface like a bookcase. I love it to be filled with books, absolutely filled with books. My bookcase doesn't just have books, it's got board games and, like, notebooks and journals and folders and like all my Switch stuff and plants and candles, and it's just got junk all over it. I'm not gonna lie, I would prefer it to just be books, but I have nowhere else to put this other stuff, so yeah, I don't know. But yes, with my desk, I prefer to have basically nothing on it. Like, the less stuff on it, the better. If my desk can look like it's a almost like boring corporate desk, that makes me happy. I like a clutter-free environment in that sense. The good thing is my bookcase is behind me, so I don't have to look at it when I'm here and doing stuff. But when I'm looking at my desk, like, okay, my cat is currently on my desk. That is an appropriate item, but that's an appropriate creature to be on my desk. I will never be upset that I have Macy on my desk. She is just the sweetest little baby and the perfect addition to any desk. I even had to change around where I have, like, a mat, keyboard mat thing to stop my desk from being scratched up, and it's long enough for my mouse as well. But because it has lights and you can plug it in to have lights, there's, like, a little chunky bit that was where she likes to lay, and she was very uncomfortable laying on it. So I flipped it around so it's reversed, so now my wrist rests on it, and that's really uncomfortable, but, now she's comfortable and she's not sitting on top of my keyboard a lot. It's stuff like that. I mean, you know what, I think after this video I'm gonna clean my desk. I'm gonna do a big cleaneroonie, because yeah, I don't like it. Like, there's not much going on here. Like, I have a cup of tea, my glass of water. Once I finish the tea, I'll take it downstairs and clean the cup and whatever, but I have a few chargers that are just higgledy-piggledy, and I usually roll them up and hide them. But yeah, I also have cat fluff, so I need to clean the cat fluff up, because there's cat fluff everywhere. Yeah, Bubba, it's yours. I kind of collect it a little bit, and then once I get enough, I ball it up and throw it out. I don't really collect the cat fur to keep it. It's just when I'm brushing her and whatnot, or like pulling out leaves and sticks and stuff that come out of her fur. I mean, I just pulled out half a bush out of her fur right before recording this video. I went to start recording and then my alarm went off, so I had to stop recording, and right as I stopped recording I could hear her yelling at me at the door. So I was like, alright, fine, I'll let her in. She can come lay on the desk and I'll start recording again. It's okay, Bubba, the neighbour's just mowing the lawn. Good girl. But she came in and she was rubbing herself all over my legs and, you know, just being all sweet and loving, which, you know, she's not usually that sweet and loving. She does demand love and cuddles and whatnot, but she's being extra cuddly, and the reason was because, yeah, she had half a bush in her tail and on her back. It was all like the prickles from the bush, so I had to pull them all out. But the problem is she kept moving around me and like rubbing up against me and going over here and rubbing her face on that, and I basically just had to pick her up and carry her while also trying to get out the stuff from her fluff. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to carry 6.5 kilos of a cat while also trying to pull out all of the stuff from her fluff, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's really not as easy as it sounds. So, yeah, she's she's purring and loving it and whatnot, but like trying to pull out half a bush out of your tail and I'm holding on to you and it's like one arm and arm's getting tired. Ugh. But I would do it again any day of the week. Any day of the week I would absolutely, I love her so much. And I think she came in because the neighbour did start mowing their lawn and it kind of freaked her out a little bit, which it's good to know that, you know, she finds inside safer than outside and she knows that it's a safe space. Ideally, I would have like a cattery for her so she can have a space to go out and explore and whatnot, but the way she enters and exits the house is also the way the dogs enter and exit the house to go to the toilet outside, and they're not my dogs, so yeah, it's the pros and cons of living with other people. It's yeah, but you know, she's a happy little creature and that's what matters. But long story short, yes, I'm gonna clean off my desk, but I'm gonna have to work around her because she's having a nap, and I'm not gonna disturb her because I don't know. I'm the sort of person, I don't want to be disturbed. If I'm sleeping, I want to sleep. I don't want to be disturbed by someone cleaning, so I'll work around her. I'll let her have her little nap, and then when she's ready to move, I'll clean up the spot where she is. I'll wipe down my desk and whatnot after that. But I think I just need to move most of the clutter. Like, that's the main thing, and I can see a lot of clutter, and that's what bothers me. I hate seeing clutter. It drives me insane. And, you know, I share an office with someone. Like, I have a little office space that I share with one of my roommates, and I see the clutter all the time. It's just constantly there, so, you know, if I clean up my space, but he hasn't cleaned up his, then I just see more clutter. But if he clears up his space and I don't clear up mine, he sees my clutter, so, you know, it's something that we both kind of deal with and live with and work around. But yeah, that's whatever. But anyway, we are actually kind of, this is the section I was talking about where I finished working on the landscaping, but I do a bit more outside. So these are the Realm of Magic lights, and when you layer the 3 of them on top of each other, they have a white glow to them, I guess. And I decided that would be a fun way to make fireflies. I could have absolutely made fireflies using the actual like firefly. It's like in the pond category. I could have used the fireflies, and I was thinking about putting an alligator or a crocodile in as well, but I don't like live mode. I still don't know what to call it. Live mode? I don't know, whatever it is, I don't like it. It means playing The Sims, and it means the weather is uncontrollable, and the lighting can be different and whatnot. And I know there's mods to fix that, but if I'm already in build mode, I'm just gonna stick with build mode. So I made my own fireflies basically, and I laid them at different levels, which I really appreciated myself doing. It was a little bit of extra work, but it meant that it kind of looked like there was fireflies like kind of floating everywhere. I could have tried to make them all much smaller than what I did, and I probably should have because they're a bit obnoxiously large. But I did size them down as much as I could without Tool. Again, probably should have used Tool to size them down just a tiny bit more because, yeah, they're a little bit big for fireflies, but we can pretend they're like a little group of fireflies. But I don't know, it created like a magical feeling within this area. It makes it feel like I don't know, like, I wanted it to be nighttime in this build. That's what I imagined in my head. But having a build that's nighttime and all dark and you can't see a thing, I did not like that. So that is where, yeah, the fireflies come in handy because it kind of lights the whole place up and I don't really have to light it up any other way. And again, like, yes, I know there are debug lights that once you go into live mode, they disappear. But again, I don't go into live mode and take screenshots and stuff like that through that. So, you know, it can be kind of a little frustrating, I guess, to find all these workarounds. But I also think it makes me a bit more creative. You know, I don't necessarily have the best creativity in the entire world, but I also don't have, like, I'm not just building a box. I mean, yes, I quite literally built a box here, but the way that I did it, it's the landscaping around it and the lights, and I just think it looks so magical, and I'm patting myself on the back for this one. So, yeah, I don't know. Also, I imagine, like, a very witchy type vibe person lives here, and they are, you know, somebody who's just happy to live on their own and kind of wants to be left alone. Maybe they do, maybe actually, you know what, I feel like the person who lives here gets mistaken for the witch who does have, like, a business, and sells stuff and whatnot, so people are constantly coming to this house and being like, yo, I wanna buy the witch stuff, and this person's like, that's not me. Like, you're at the wrong house. You need to go back up and go down. Like, when you get to this tree, turn left, and you know you'll see a dock there, and you can park your boat there. And that's the actual witch's house. Like, that's the witch who sells stuff. I'm just the witch who lives deep in the woods, in a swamp, having lived my life and having fun. Like, I'm not that witch. You're at the wrong house. I feel like that's this witch. This is not a commercial witch. This is just a I'm living my life witch. And yeah, I don't know. I like it. I feel like also the witch who does sell stuff would be like, yeah, you'll know you're in the right place when you see like a 2-story house or something, like or like a you know, a dock with I don't know, like a big purple neon sign on it. And people still show up to this place and it's like, there's no big purple neon sign, but maybe this is the place. And it's like, do you see the sign? No? Okay, well then this is not the place, so bye-bye. I don't know, I feel like I've done things like that before where I misread an address. I am terrible with reading addresses when they have a unit number and a street number. I can never tell which one's which, and the amount of times where I have gone, I mean, it's honestly been once, but yeah, where I've gone to a place and gone, sorry, is this, and they're like, you're reading it backwards, and I still to this day could not tell you which way's which. I could not tell you if I'm, like, is the apartment number first, or is the street number first? I think it's the apartment first, but if I think that, then why did I get it wrong every other time? But maybe I think it's that because I did get it wrong. I still don't know. But thankfully, I can just look it up and be like, hey, which one's which? If I ever come across that again. I'm gonna stick with apartment number coming first because that makes sense. That makes sense to me. And I feel like I've seen it, like, you know, 1A, 12, road or whatever, I don't know. If that's an address, cool, I'm sorry, but that just the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah, but it's like, it'd be so frustrating living here and people just keep showing up and you're like, hey, this is not the description of the place at all. Like, you're looking for a 2-story house with a big purple neon sign and you've come to a 1-story home with no sign out front. Like, maybe you should listen to instructions a little bit better, bud. But the witch who live here, I feel like would also just be like, oh no, sorry, not here. I think they should just put a sign out being like, not, you're at the wrong place, no, turn back, go away. So, yeah, that's definitely the vibes of the person I feel who lives here. They're very happy living on their own. You know, they get deliveries of food and whatnot. They do their witchy things, because there's not really much place here to grow fruit and veggies. So they kind of have to, deliver it and eat it here. But they're happy living their little witchy life and going out into the swamp and picking up, you know, swamp things to make witch potions and brews and things like that. I feel like I'd personally hate it because I feel it would be very muggy and there would be lots of bugs, and I'm not a huge bug person. I prefer my house and surrounds to be bugless. I mean, within reason. Like, I obviously know bugs are kind of important. You know, like bugs and beetles and stuff. Very, very important to the ecosystem. I just don't want them in my personal bubble. And I feel like the bugs here would be very much inside my personal bubble, and I don't like that idea. So yeah, I don't think I'd do very well living somewhere where my personal bubble was invaded by little critters like that. Also, potentially living with gators, also not appealing to me. I think I will pass on that one. So yeah, I'm not sure I would like to live here, but I think it'd be cool to visit, like a place like this. But anyway, we are getting pretty close to the end of the video here. So yeah, if you've enjoyed my ramblings, if you've enjoyed the build process, my thoughts and feelings on the build, anything like that, make sure to subscribe, because I do come out with a new build every single day except the last couple of days of February. I only do 26 builds in February, regardless of how many days there are in February. It's only 26 builds. But every other month I do a build every single day, and yeah, I don't know, it's definitely something I'm enjoying and having lots of fun with, and after I clean my desk, I'm definitely going to be getting into jumping into the next couple of builds, because I'm so super excited for them. But yeah, until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.